Hi, my name's John. Welcome to another Sunday night nightcap. In tonight's nightcap, I finish off the parting tool that I started to modify last week, show that actually working. Then I've got a strange sort of job to do. I've got some copper pipe to bend. It's 35mm, fairly heavy wall copper pipe, and I cannot find a bend former to bend it, so I do it the old school method by filling it with sand. It works out well. I'll let you have a look and see what you think. I'm certainly happy with the result. I hope you enjoy that little bit of content. I'm going to set the tool up on centre height. This is the most accurate way of doing it, to take a cut and keep adjusting it until you are dead on centre height. That doesn't look bad there. I think that's actually very good indeed. You make sure that the tool is 90 degrees to the job as well as being on centre height. It's the easiest way to do it. Oh, John, man. Right, so it's dead on centre height. 90 degrees to the job. We'll see if we can cut a slice off this piece of brass. I know it's only brass, but that was pretty convincing. A nice brass washer. Not a bad finish neither. I was intending putting an adjuster in that bolt hole the same as that, but I think what I'll do is, because it's going to be used here all the time, I'll measure the distance between those two and make a spacer for it and bolt it on. Then it means it'll just drop straight on, and it's also even more rigid because it's resting on the top of the compound slide. That's a 5mm slip gauge, which is slack. So here I've got a 4 and a 1.03, which is still a little bit on the slack side. Right, 4 and 1.05, that's there. That's pretty good. So it wants to be a fanny's bigger than 5mm. 5.1, and then we can go from there. So that means when I'm using this, it's a simple case of slotting it on. As long as that face there is clean, it'll just drop straight down. So on a 5.1mm space, I put it on the bottom of there, and then we can machine it if we need to get it absolutely perfect on centre height. I found a nice piece of quarter flat bar that just wants to go on the bottom there. I'm going to hold it on with two countersunk 6mm Allen bolts. I know it's quarter inch, which is 625 now, you just do about 5, but I'll be able to mill that down to the required thickness and get it absolutely spot on. So 2 bolts in there, countersunk, and it should do the job quite nicely. Just sort of eyeball the centre because it's not sort of that critical. It's actually moving slightly. If we do this end first where the clamp is, I can always put another clamp on there at the table, but I don't think we'll need to. Once we get one bolt in, we've kind of got it by the knackers really. We'll give it a try there, see what happens. In fact, I don't like it. It's piss wobbly. I'm going to do it properly and put a proper clamp onto it. Right, I've got a proper hold of it now. I've clocked the centre in. So I'm going to go equal distance from each side and then drill and tap the 2 holes. And I like the look of that, which is 30mm. We'll do both in one go. I think I got clamped a little bit too near the edge. I have, bastard. I have to move that clamp very slightly. There's always something when it's a job for me. There's always something that decides to bite back and fight us. I don't know why, but it always does. It's better. Put a 5.2 tapping drill in next. Do some measurements, get the depth right. I think the tapping drill for 6 is 5, not 5.2. I'm really impressed with this anchor lube. It's as good as anything I've used and it doesn't smell, nice and clean. Just check my depth. Loads. Right, now we need to put a clearance drill in and then countersink them and then tap them. So your road makes picking these holes up easy. No more accurate, just easy. developed a new noise now on the milling machine. We'll show what that's all about. Ah, the coolant pipe touching the chuck. Another cheap and cherry Bango tool doing the job for us. Bit of a rough finish which I didn't really want in there. That looks better. But I need the head of the bolt quite a way below the surface. So I've got to machine a bit of this off. That should do the job quite nicely actually. I'm going to go a little bit deeper just to really make sure, because I've got to take 2.5 mil off that. It takes nothing to give it a little bit extra. Probably go down full depth of the piece of material we're putting on actually. Just found a nice steady pace where it's cutting really well. I need to do a video on this anchor lube. This will be a good test for it against some of that, the stuff I used to use. That's absolutely beautiful, that. Yeah, plenty of depth now. It's going nowhere. should be its last cut. So that's in place now. All we need to do is drop it, make sure that's clean, drop it onto there, lock it up, and that should be it set on centre height. It looks good. I'll bring the camera around so we can have a closer look. It looks good, possibly a funny hair above, which is what you want. You don't want to put a centre on a parting tool. We'll put a light cut across it and see what happens. We're only machining brass, but it's proving the point. You see it working plenty on steel, stainless. It is slightly above centre height, very, very little. Snap that bit off instead of cutting it because it is very slightly above centre height. I may put it back in the milling machine and just put a few more throw off